those of you from Connah will remember this used to be a road once upon a time. And up ahead there was where the market was based. That's now long gone. Now replaced with a huge medical centre. Lloyd Williams furniture shop. Been a heating and plumbing place, bathrooms, etc. for donkey's years. And across the way, I think it's closed down now, to be perfectly honest, is Station Barbecue. That used to be Premier Video at one point, with the church next door, which has been demolished. Traditional Transylvanian cuisine. One thing that does still exist though, albeit in a different place, is Hot Stuff. Because across the road there you got Dia Kebab House. Now that's been there for probably 25 years, something like that. Dia Kebab. But Hot Stuff does still exist. They just cross the road. So if I move over here, you can see Hot Stuff. Still here after all those years. Tesco's occupies this area now. I mean, years and years ago it was their shoe shop, I think, if I remember correctly. And then we had Quay Aquatics, was it, down here, that had like a bit of an aquarium going on. Again, long gone. And sadly, the shops that we're coming to in a moment at the bottom of Wepa Lights here, they're gone too. Quite recently, in fact. Horlicks the Jewellers used to be across the road there. We had Graham Catterall's photography studio. Mark Tammy's office. I think that Mark Tammy now has moved. I think that is the case. See, these are up for sale now. This was still a pet shop for a while. I don't think it was still Fin and Feather, but this is a sad one. Wilton's. They've only just shut down after all those years. The lady that was running it recently got married and her husband's poorly, I think, so they're calling it quits. Dental surgery. I think it was Parry, Potter and Foodie. It's now Mr. Brandon, Mr. Foodie's still here, and Phillips. Motor World has closed down. But for some of you, you'll remember Motor World as Irwin's. Now when I get across the road here, I'll spin back. Or maybe you can see from here, Irwin's. We've got Wepa Drive up ahead there. Police station's still there. Library's still there, but the library does a lot more stuff now. It doesn't just do library type things. I think it does, you can get things like your wheelie bin order, or what you call them, the recycling sacks. I should know, I've got enough of them. Yeah, you get your recycling stuff in there, and I think it does a few other things. See, it's the library and Flintshire connects, you see. So I think a lot of council facilities are based in there now, because a few years back they got rid of the council offices in Connah. It's now just flattened. If you remember the council offices in Connah, they, as you can see, no longer exist. They've gone. The swimming baths are still there. The council built the swimming baths to prevent people from swimming in the Dee, I think it was at the time, and I've been told by some of the more aged amongst us in their 80s that they were given the opportunity to wep a hall or build a swimming baths, so they chose to build a swimming bath. So the council got a council baths built, and they've now promptly sold it to a private enterprise. Well done, council. Responsibilities discharged. This is the old Summerfield. It was Gateways. I worked in Gateways for a short time. And then I think it becomes something else, like a Premier Discounts or something, or a Nice Price. It was something like that for a short while. Now it's just a vandalised mess, but it's getting demolished soon. And you see, this is now a pay and display car park here. The council have got these little green boxes, like over yonder, and you have to pay, and it's not much, to be fair. I can't remember exactly. Tell you what, should we go and have a look? It's really cheap. But it does anger a lot of people. Yep, there's the old Summerfield, and the prices are 30p an hour, 50p for 2 hours, or 150 for all day. So it's not exactly going to break the bank, is it? But nonetheless, it used to be free for a very long time, so people are still unwilling to pay to park here. And there was an issue with the building of, I think Morrison's put a bid in and Aldi put a bid in. Now Lidl have, I think, bought the Summerfield site, but there was a bit of a hoo-ha because the council owned the car park and they'd be charging the customers, you know, the fee to park up and get the shopping, so none of the supermarkets wanted anything to do with it. But Lidl have somehow got around it. I'm thinking that they must have brokered some kind of deal with the council. Cross solicitors there, he's been there for quite some years now, 1980s. The cenotaph. They've cleared the cenotaph space up, I think. I mean, there's plenty of room for people to line up now and what have you. I don't know, it just looks wider to me. Maybe it's just because it's gated and a bit more open. God bless them. The blossoms are coming out now, they're lovely then. The only thing is, they only last about 20 minutes and then die, so. Coming into Shotton now. It must be, I don't know, about 20 past 9 or something on a weekday. It's a Monday morning, so I wouldn't have thought that there'd be a massive hubbub of people. There's a lot of people going to work and what have you, but you never know. The old job centre. It's a hairdressing and beauty salon now. Don't think there's much new occurred lately. Delicious Cakes, though I think they've been there a little while now. Walk one. This has been a Chinese buffet for, goodness me, many, many years. Monday to Thursday, adults $15.99. And I tell you what, the food in there is really good. But you come out and you feel like you're going to explode, that's the only thing, so take your time. Jackie Ellis's funeral parlour. That was a net cafe for a while, and the butcher's before that. Mark Thomas's butchers. Now it used to be Price's butchers. I believe this was a ice cream parlour at one point. Someone mentioned you could go downstairs to a snooker hall, but did they mean upstairs, or were the stairs going down at one point? It was Barclays Bank for a while, I think, unless I'm getting this one mixed up. Was Ethel Austin's there as well, or? Vape shop. This place was sweets for a while, now it's a barber's. Heron Foods. Here now. The old Woolworths building. A few of you will remember Woolworths. Changed a bit, hasn't it? Doesn't it look small now? How to the memories of it. I thought it was massive when I was a kid. Bumped into Jimmy while I was down here, and the old he's going in the old thrifty shop to get a card. But I thought, whilst I was passing, just have a quick nose at Alf Jones's, which is still going. Alf Jones's has been here a hell of a long time. I'm fairly sure the door was here when I was little, but yeah, pretty sure it was. Just, it caters for a more modern audience now, though, Alf Jones. I suppose that's how the times have gone, isn't it? Yeah, it was old Mr. Jones, I think, when I used to go there. Thin chap with glasses, and I think it was his son with a moustache. I don't even know if he's still there. I haven't been in for such a long time. Some of these places are alien to me. I don't know. Medina Supermarket. A lot of the stuff, though, is still unchanged. Like Lloyd's Bank's been here for quite some time now. And the Clwyd. Pleasers Jewellers has been here for a number of years, hasn't it? Deeside Insurance. The Deeside Insurance has moved about a little over the years, but post office is gone. Still got 2 post boxes outside, but the actual post office is long gone. It's a carpet place nowadays. Molyneux still here. Let's have a look at the prices, shall we? Nice house up Flint Mountain for 410 grand. You can live in Aston now for 259, or a terraced house in Shotton is £95,000. 95,000. I remember then they were something like 8. King's Calf used to be there. Shotton Kebab's been there a long time. That must have been there for, goodness me, it's got to be on the way to about 30 years now. It's a hell of a long time. Polish supermarket. Do you know, I've hardly ever been in one of these places, but I nipped into the one in Connah the other day and got a variety of unusual to me things, and they were quite nice. Just look at that above Shotton Kebab, the top of the building, 1903. And Rivertown Church, 1897 that was built, though that front end was put on I think in the 80s or 90s. It's a different front that than it used to be. See Mr. Dentist sat in there. Matt West. Potluck is flats now. The Central Hotel. Weatherspoons as it is nowadays. Boots has been here for many years. I think Boots used to be up by Ash Grove once upon a time. And Bethany Books, the Christian bookshop, that's been there for probably about 30 years now as well. They do tea and coffee and things in there now. My old school used to be up here, Charnley's Lane. Used to be a boat place here and a farm a bit further up. This was Colin Beck's newsagent. I'm not sure of the owner now. I think it's an Indian lad. Station Cafe. If you note the graphics on it are the same as the cafe, the Transylvanian cafe in Connah we looked at earlier, because I think they were the same people. Graham Way cycles. I think Graham Way specialises mainly in racing bikes, I think, but he does do mountain bikes and what have you. But it's mostly the guys in Lycra that used to go there a lot, but may have diversified. There is another cycle shop just up here on the right hand side of the road, and they used to do mountain bikes mainly, whereas Graham Way used to seem to do racing bikes mainly, but like I say, that's probably changed over the years. Probably both do a bit of both. There is a nice little cafe on the end of Rowley's Drive there, Ash Grove. I think, is it on the Ash Grove corner? Yeah, I think it's on the Ash Grove corner, just in the distance. I don't know if you can see it there. Is it Corner Cafe or something? But it's a nice little cafe that, if you want a little breakfast or something, cup of tea. Again, Dr. Gavin's, Dr. McCandless, etc. I'll probably pause up here. We're going into the housing estates now, but back when I was a kid, I used to cut through here. I think there were two entries at one point, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong, I think there was two. But that entry cut through round the back of the houses, and the residents have gradually let it grow over, so I think they can eventually stop people from using it completely, maybe have it shut off. So I think there was a bit of antisocial behaviour going on there, which is a pity because it was a nice little cut through that for those of us who didn't abuse it, you know. Yeah, we're into the houses now, so I'll cut off here. This is St David's Drive, leading into Connah Close. Loads of sparrows flying round in the hedges, making nests. Right time of year now. Right, okay, I'll catch up with you soon. This is more of a one for locals of the area really, but I don't know, some people from further afield might find it interesting. It's what a standard British street looks like. 1930s semis, quite common everywhere. Okay, oh look at these sparrows, look. Seen them all, aren't they cute? They're quite tame as well. Right, okay. As I'm heading back the other way, I thought I'd do a little bit of filming. Why not, eh? This is, I'm guessing it's about 3:30. And looking at the clock over there that says 3:30, that kind of does give it away, I suppose, but you never know. It is roughly about 3:30 though. This is the Shotton Railway Bridge. This is the bridge that generally gets hit by wagons, and then you end up with absolute chaos throughout the town. It's quite common. It's happened many, many times over the years since I've been alive anyway. Central again. People still outside having a couple of pints. Fair play to them. What I thought I might do is have a little bit of a nose up the back alleys here. They've changed over the years a little bit. This was my school when I was a kid. This is the Venerable Edward Morgan Infant School. It's changed a little now. The car park there is built on what used to be the playground when I was a kid. I'm not quite sure what the place is used for now. It was I think it was a unit for kids that had been kicked out of school or something. Could be wrong, it was something along those lines. Yeah, but where this gutter is on the floor here at the edge of the car park, that was pretty much where the old metal fence was. And there's a toilet block that also, I think it was the boys' toilet block here. Let's move out of the way, this chap. And then, oh, hello, there's a crow. And this here was pretty much the end of it. Hello, crow. The backs of the shops. Yeah, the place has changed a little over the years. It's a little bit more open here, I think, than it was when I was a kid. It seemed a little bit more, I don't know, built up and what have you. I used to walk down here back in the early mid-80s and avoid all the traffic on the main road, and if you needed to get somewhere in a hurry and you didn't want to bump into 30 of your mates, then this was the ideal route. There's loads of crows knocking around. They're all having a a route through the bins probably, I'm guessing. There must be some goodies here for them. When I was a kid, this next alleyway that we're coming up to in a sec used to be the back of Tesco's and Woolworths, and there used to be just across the way there a place called Morton Green's Furniture Warehouse, but previously, it's been demolished now. Previously it was a cinema back in the 30s, 40s, 50s, etc. A garage, what I wouldn't give for a garage of my own. So yeah, coming round into, nowadays it's Iceland round the back of here. And then ahead you've got Crystal Bingo now. I think that Crystal Bingo is now I think it's a church by the look of things, but I have to admit I'm not 100% sure. Now I think that Crystal Bingo was a dance hall back in the 50s and 60s and what have you. I think that's what it was. There's the side of Woolworths. What remains of Woolworths anyway. And this, I think, used to be the dance hall. Don't think it was a cinema. I think it was the dance hall. Was it the Vaughan Hall? It may have been. I'm not too sure. I've heard that name mentioned. Well, that might be elsewhere. I could be incorrect there. Predates me a little bit, that one, I must admit. It was Crystal Bingo that I remember it as. This is like the back end of, it used to be a milk bar and what have you. It's that one that we passed earlier. I think there was a billiard hall there too, possibly. I was told there was a billiard hall down the stairs or something by someone, but there aren't any stairs to go down, whether there used to be or something, I don't know, possibly. That might be the case. It looks as though the back of this place is flat, because this used to be Mr. Bevan's. I think this is part of the Chinese, isn't it? I think. And then it'll be what is now Cyril Jones, used to be Lloyd's Bank back in the day. Cyril Jones is a solicitor's firm. And then you're back onto the main road pretty much. And we filmed here a few hours ago, so I'll probably just stick both videos together and whack them up for people to watch. I think it'll only be interesting to locals, to be fair, but you never know, someone might be interested in little Welsh towns and may have some interest in it perhaps. Just down that road there, at the very bottom, is the Castle Inn, a pub, also known as Hendy's by everybody. I think Mr. Henderson run it at one time. many years ago, and it's an alright little place if you just want to drink, nothing posh. Right, I'll call it quits here for now, and I'll catch you later.